Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories. I'm your host, retired NYPD Sergeant Bill Cannon, a 27-year veteran of the NYPD. I just went live really without much warning because there's supposed to be a press conference in regards to the Tennessee explosion, where they now are indicating that there are 18 people feared dead. And as soon as they go live, we will absolutely go live with them. But just to update this case a little bit, as we know, early Friday, a thundering blast at a military and industrial explosives plant reverberated across a tight-knit community in central Tennessee, raising an entire building on the plant's sprawling campus and killing a still unknown number of people. At least 18 people remain missing after the massive explosion, which rattled homes miles away and rocketed debris for at least a half of square mile away. Officials have acknowledged fatalities but declined to give a number from what remained a chaotic scene long after the blast. This is according to CNN. We need our communities to come together and understand we've lost a lot of people. This don't only affect those families, it runs deeper. This could be people that you grew up with. Humphreys County Sheriff Chris Davis said, noting one victim was a childhood friend of his. The explosion occurred during an early shift at Accurate Energetic Systems, a manufacturer of military and demolition explosives that employs scores of local residents. Prayers are needed. Our hearts are broken for the families and for the loved ones that lost their lives. According to Wendell Stinson, the manufacturer's CEO, said alongside officials Friday. The blast triggered a series of smaller explosions, officials said, and the cause is still under investigation. This could take a while to determine what the cause of this blast was. So people that are expecting an immediate answer to how this occurred, that is not forthcoming at this point. But I think what we need to understand and we need to know about this blast is that there's 18 people missing right now and untold others that are injured. How this has affected the community, you could see on the face and in the voice of the Sheriff Davis from this area that he was quite upset in regards to this incident. And hopefully today we will get more information as soon as the press conference goes live, we will go live with it. But right now they are preparing to go live, but there is no indication right at this second that they are going live. So we'll give you some of the facts and circumstances from yesterday, what the hope is, what we know in regards to the investigation. But right now, there's not a great deal of information. This is from ABC News, a local affiliate station.
Away say they could feel the plant explosion that rocked a Middle Tennessee community. This happened at Accurate Energetic Systems in Bucksnor. That's not far from Interstate 40 on the Hickman-Humphreys County line. Nearly 24 hours later, local investigators say 18 people are missing and feared dead. AES is a privately owned industrial facility that processes ammunition and explosives, although the company does not manufacture explosives. Local authorities are asking for prayers from community members, and they say the investigation could take days.
This don't only affect those families, it runs deeper than just that their brother, their sister, their mom and dad. This could be people that you grew up with.
Humphreys County Emergency Management shared a post on Facebook. Officials said close to 300 emergency responders were on that scene Friday. The sheriff says the ATF and FBI have significant roles in this investigation. The explosion was so massive, people heard and felt it miles and miles away. We spoke with some of those residents. Peyton Kennedy is here to share their experience. Peyton, good morning.
Megan, good morning. Yeah, you can hear the blast on security video from a home about 11 miles away from the facility. A woman we spoke to who lives 15 minutes away says she felt it too. Another resident 20 minutes away has the same story. And even closer to AES, Tammy Clark says she woke up to a loud boom. Her home is just about 3 miles away from the facility. She said her home was shaking and her power was going in and out.
And I can't imagine them getting up, going to work, and I mean, nothing wrong with them when they left out, but they won't be coming home. And I can't imagine.
Debris from the blast was found up to 4 miles away from the explosion site. Megan.
Peyton, thank you. And coming up at our next half hour, we'll have a closer look at records from the Tennessee Occupational Safety and Health Administration that show a number of violations at this AES facility.
So, that'll be part of the investigation. Leave it up to broadcast news to right away jump on the negative part of this. But I would imagine it's very difficult to work with explosives, and how the criteria and how careful you must have to be. So we're going to find that out. And as soon as they go live, we're going to go live to the press conference to come up with the new information. If there is any new information relative to the investigation, relative to how many people are in fact dead, we know that they're reported as 18 missing. We don't know the number of injured at this point. So, folks, hold on to your hats, hold on to your loved ones, hold on to your thoughts, hold on to your prayers. You're about to enter true crime from a police perspective. You're about to enter the off-the-cuff zone, the police off-the-cuff zone. There has to be some common sense.
They were the ones who called 911 to get him help, and now they're calling for change.
Folks, all they are saying right now, until we get the update from the live press conference, is that multiple people are dead following a devastating blast at an explosives manufacturing plant in Tennessee on Friday, as a desperate search and rescue effort is ongoing, according to authorities. The blast completely leveled the building. You can't even look at that site and really tell that there was a building there. When you look at these images you're seeing on the screen, the force and the power of that explosion, just absolutely devastating. There's a picture of the sheriff right there, who is emotionally and personally involved, as one of his childhood friends has been confirmed losing his life at this location. All we know relative to the amount of people, this company, Accurate Energetic Systems, employs 80 people. However, they were saying from very early on yesterday that 19 initially, they said 19 were missing. Now it's been cut back to 18. So we don't know fully till they give the update if that's accurate. But things that we are concerned with, and everyone should be concerned with, is the investigation here. How obviously, I don't want to be. What we're most concerned with is the loss of life, but we want to know the why. Why did this happen? How did this happen? It seems at this point it was obviously an accident. There was no malfeasance. There was no criminality here. However, it appears to be a straight up accident. Humphreys County Sheriff Chris Davis confirmed there are some fatalities, though he did not provide a specific number. As of Friday evening, 18 people remain unaccounted for after the blast, according to a statement from Humphrey County's Emergency Management Agency. This is from ABC News. Earlier, officials had said 19 people were unaccounted for after the explosion, but later said one person who was initially believed to be at that plant was located safe at home. Great story there, right? Authorities said that they are still working to confirm exactly who was at the facility Friday morning and are working to notify family members. It's probably been one of the most devastating situations that I've been on in my career, according to Sheriff Davis. During a press update Friday afternoon, he was getting quite emotional, as he does know some of the people that that are involved in this, that are missing. This is a close-knit, small community. So yes, the sheriff does know some of the folks that are involved here. So he was quite emotional over what occurred here. Just absolutely horrific. And, the sheriff gave a bit of a, interview yesterday, and he expressed that he wanted to be accurate. Hang on, I'm going to go to the press conference now. I believe it may be live at this moment, so we're going to go to the press conference.
Working with the FBI and being able to do things with the phones and identify what phones went off at the time of explosion, trying to figure out everything inside the scene. I can tell you that we've had more than probably 300 people. It's done very delicate, very methodical things inside the scene. And at this time, we have recovered no survivors. Again, it's a great loss to our communities.
Folks, I'm going to go to a different. There's obviously something wrong with the volume here, so I'm going to go to a different station, see if we can get the volume to play louder. I believe the volume problem is coming from their end, not mine. But we'll see if we can get it up higher. And here we go. It's still a volume problem, folks. It's got to be their problem on their end. This is even worse. I'll remove this and I'll go to another. See if we can get this press conference going. Okay, I'm trying to get the press conference up on the screen with better volume. We had a little technical problem here. Let me put this up on the screen, see if this is any better.
To take care of the families. AES has been great, sitting up with family support. FBI, ATF is also here. TBI, about any, I can't even think of all the departments here.
I'm scared to name them all.
It's just been overwhelming with all the help that's come in to assist with this tragedy that we're dealing with. Like I said, it's been minute by minute. We found out this morning some changes in the protocol and what we're having to deal with. And it's like we were already going slow. Now we're slow things down more.
Folks, I'm apologizing for the sound. It's on their end, not ours here.
Exactly. One of the questions that we had, or knowing coming into this conference, you see the ambulances here, you see the helicopter here, and that's here for the protection of these guys. That's here for their safety. I mean, it's when we have the situation and we feel that it's that volatile, we want to take care of that and actually get in front of anything. And matter of fact, it might not be a bad idea for a guy from ATF if.
Guy, can you get close to the mic, please?
Yeah. Morning, Guy McCormick. I'm a supervisory special agent with ATF here in Nashville. You want me to come over a little more? Okay, sorry about that. Appreciate the sheriffs and all the support they've given us. What we're doing out here today is we have a number of our certified explosive specialists, our bomb techs, with support from not only the troopers, who have been fantastic, but a number of other law enforcement agencies, and like the sheriff said, too many to name, and I'd be doing them a disservice if I try to name them all, up there helping us right now. In a situation like this, what we find is that when these explosives are subject to the event that took place, which is heat, the explosion being thrown, pressure, they can change and they can become different than how we know them to act. So right now, all of our bomb techs, our explosive specialists, are up there very thoroughly, methodically trying to make safe the area so that when our national response team comes in this afternoon, that area can be as safe as possible for every law enforcement up there, so we can go ahead and make sure we do that search and recovery efforts in the safest manner as possible. And that's what ATF and our partners are doing right now.
One of the things that I know that you may have heard that's also on scene, TBI is on scene with their rapid DNA. They use that term, rapid DNA, and this situation is going to be, again, very hard because of the circumstances, because of the devastation. Can we get an idea of some DNA? Absolutely. Here again, we want to make sure that we're taking the time to confirm. Anytime we do anything like that, we always want to make the confirmation for our families, and for everybody that's involved and that's concerned. Patience. We're asking for patience. The community's outpour of support, unimaginable. We have people, Sheriff and I have had people and other sheriffs from across the state to reach out to us. We're very appreciative of that.
This is Sheriff Chris Davis.
Okay, at this time we'll take
Humphreys
some
County.
questions. Nicole?
Davis, earlier you said you've not recovered any survivors. Does that mean you presume that all 18 people missing are dead?
We're making the, now keep in mind there were, and I don't want to have confusion here, there were some folks that were on the scene that were involved. Those are not including that. It's time, again, and I'll reiterate the comment that I made, I can tell you more.
You know, I'm going to take this off the screen right now. It's some really, they have some real technical problems there. The sound and as well as the video is not very clear at this point. One of the things, you know, what we're hearing about, of course, and I experienced this when I worked on the ground at the World Trade Center, is that, to put it bluntly, in these cases, in this explosion, many of the bodies were probably blown to bits. And so it's up to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. They talked about rapid DNA. If they can recover what they recognize to be bodies or body parts, to test those pieces of bodies. And I can't explain this any other way than as graphically as I am, to test the DNA to confirm whether or not a person that is confirmed missing is in fact recovered, a part of their body has been recovered. See, I'm sorry again, folks. One of the channels has very good audio but no video, and the other one has, so it's not. I believe that it's the problem of on the scene, not a problem with my with my broadcasting. It's a problem on the scene. I'll see if I can get a better. This is being covered by so many different stations. So if I can get another station on TV, and we could hear. So yeah, the quality to the recording has been so bad, but we'll see if we can get another station that it has a much clearer. Let's see what happens. They've been having on the scene just absolutely horrific reception here. So we'll see if we can get a better sound and I'll put it up on the screen. Here we go.
Patience. We're asking for patience. The community's outpour
The Sheriff
of
David.
support, unimaginable. We have people, Sheriff and I have had people and other sheriffs from across the state to reach out to us. We're very appreciative of that. Jason.
Okay, at this time we'll take some questions.
Sheriff
Nicole?
Davis, earlier you said you've not recovered any survivors. Does that mean you presume that all 18 people missing are dead?
We're making the, now keep in mind there were, and I don't want to have confusion here, there were some folks that were on the scene that were involved. Those are not including that. It's time, again, and I'll reiterate the comment that I made, I can tell you more than people have been through almost every square inch of this facility, and at this time we've recovered no survivors.
Does that mean you're holding out any hope for survivors?
Folks, I apologize for the audio as well as the video signal. That's the on-site reception they're getting. It's not from myself or the other TV stations. This is their on-site reception at this location.
Hope's always in my heart.
Question for ATF. With your preliminary assessment, is there any cause that you have identified so far?
So I really can't answer that question right now. Like I said, our national response team, who are really the worldwide experts in all this, who are coming from all over the country, will be here this afternoon. They will begin their long, thorough investigation to determine the cause and origin of this explosion. That information will probably get out to you guys in the next days and weeks to come as they do their investigation and develop that.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Sheriff,
One more question.
Do you feel like there's any risk to anyone outside this facility at this point?
I do not.
Thank you. We'll update you as to when the next question.
I'm going to take it off the screen right now, guys, because you can see the reception from this TV station is horrific. So what we know now, of course, is that there's 18 people confirmed missing. The report yesterday that there was 19 was based on the fact that they have in fact found that person who they thought was at work and was actually at home. So that's good news that one less person if they had been at work, they most likely would have perished also. But you can see the devastation here. The how, we don't know the how. We don't know the why. It appears to be an accident. But as you heard, the head of the ATF, Guy McCormick, the ATF officer in charge, agent in charge in Tennessee, was on the scene, and their bomb squad experts will be arriving this afternoon. This will entail a complete and thorough search of the blast site, of the location. And one of the difficult things, of course, is identifying what are body parts, what may be a piece of a body, which on the scene they will recover. It'll be taken to the morgue where it will be, on this scene, they may actually take DNA from the bodies and or the body parts on the scene. However, when it gets to the morgue, they will, and this was the procedure they used during 9/11. I worked in the morgue, I wasn't assigned to the morgue during 9/11, but I worked there on numerous occasions during the recovery efforts at the World Trade Center. And they would bring in bodies or body parts, and they would take DNA, they would photograph the body parts, and then they would actually X-ray it. And then it would be indexed. Very thorough, very methodical. They must use the same procedures here. And families of the missing workers, the missing persons, will be asked to provide a DNA sample from the home of the victim, whether it's off a toothbrush, whether it's off of a hairbrush, garments. They will try to obtain a exemplar of the alleged missing person's DNA and then compare that to DNA that is recovered on the scene. Methodical, a scientific way to identify the victims on this scene, but quite painstaking. The search of this area will take quite a long time. Years after 9/11, they would actually find DNA or identify DNA of some victims, finding different bodies or body parts, sometimes on buildings that were thousands of yards from the blast site. So that may be true here, as they reported that they had found debris from this explosion 4 full miles away from the blast site. So all of those things have to be taken into consideration. And of course, while all this is going on, we know how important the recovery is, but identifying what happened here, what caused this explosion. I would imagine it is very difficult to obtain a license to do this type of work, and they must follow strict governmental procedures so that accidents like this don't happen. We don't know at this point what happened. We just know at this point that there are 18 people missing. So it's, right here, there's also, they said that authorities were continuing to search the property Friday afternoon for those unaccounted for. The response remains a rescue effort, according to Sheriff Davis, who said that they want to exhaust every asset before it moves to recovery. You folks in the chat, Rock Chalk, very good to see you here. Thank you for supporting this show. Thank you for stopping by. Mike Morton from the chat, the building's gone. They're picking up parts 1/2 mile debris field. So you can imagine how difficult that is and how methodical searchers must be to search that site. Cat H, bless you, Sergeant Bill. Cat H, thank you so much. RDNAC, how close were the 3 people, I wonder? I'm not sure. Unapproachable light from the chat. If an accident, that's a hell of an accident. Yes, I mentioned yesterday when I covered this that years ago, I don't have the exact year, there's a family out on eastern Long Island in Suffolk County. I think it was in Bellport, if I'm not mistaken. They're called the Grucci family, and they're the most famous fireworks artists, actually, because people that make fireworks have to know the art and the science of it. And they had a huge explosion at their factory. And I believe, I don't have the exact number, quite a few people were killed in that explosion. So this type of business is not without risk. In fact, there is a great deal of risk with this. But it's now we're on to the recovery. And of course, the search, the recovery, and the investigation. So that's a huge part of it. 4 to 5 people were brought to hospitals, according to the sheriff, and he did not detail their injuries. Asked to describe the building where the explosion occurred, the sheriff said, "There's nothing to describe. It's gone." This is not going to be something that we're going to be like a car wreck or something like that. This is according to Sheriff Davis, that we're just going to clean up the debris and leave. We're going to probably be here for a few days, he said. So the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, Homeland Security, and Tennessee Bureau of Investigation are among the agencies that have responded to the scene. And of course, the explosion remains under investigation. Accurate Energetic Systems is cooperating with us in any way and every way possible, according to Sheriff Davis. They're wanting to figure this out just as we are, he added. So Accurate Energetic Systems manufactures explosives and energetic devices for the military, demolition, and mining industries, according to its website. Its customers include the Defense Department and Homeland Security, according to the Association of the United States Army. The explosion occurred at 07:48 hours, that's 7:48 a.m. local time, and destroyed one of the facility's buildings. So just, an absolute horrific situation. And again, under investigation, the ATF, the FBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, local police, they will all be on the scene trying to figure out what the hell happened here, because it is just a horrific situation. And, the thing is with these large scale situations, everyone wants answers, but yet law enforcement cannot give immediate answers. The answers will come in days or weeks after this investigation is underway. So we don't know. We don't know whether they're going to have answers to how did this occur. How did this explosion occur? So we don't have answers to that. People want answers, but there's no way for us to answer the questions of the how. The how is not known at this point. So that's going to be part of the long-term investigation of the FBI TBI ATF. The ATF experts will be arriving on scene this afternoon, and hopefully they'll be able to find the derivation of the explosion. Very difficult work, and you must have an expertise in this in order to ascertain how this horrific accident occurred. Now a word from our sponsor. And now a word from our sponsor. FanDuel's got an offer you don't want to miss this NFL season. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style. FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is here. The only question is, are you ready to play? You must be 21 years or older and present in select states for Kansas and affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbookfanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or text HOPE New York in New York. So, folks, I'm going to go back to the press conference. Is going to replay it because it was such a bad reception. You can see the scene as you watch it on the screen. Just absolute devastation. You can't even tell.
All right, so to update you on this press conference, it was supposed to start a half hour ago, about 28 minutes ago, but a helicopter is just landed right where the press conference is going to be. So I don't know if that's the governor or somebody else, but maybe they were waiting for somebody to show up. Hopefully, in the next couple minutes, we will get our... Now, there's an ambulance. Why am I seeing an ambulance? The helicopter landed, now there's an ambulance, but its lights aren't on. I don't know what's going on. Is it a life flight helicopter? What's going on? I don't know. I'm looking right now. So I have my eyes on, there's a helicopter.
Folks, these scenes are quite dangerous. That could be the reason there's an ambulance on the scene. Because, even in the search, you don't know if in the recovery, if they could possibly recover someone from the scene that's still alive. I don't know if they've done an extremely methodical and meticulous search. So, of course, you're going to have an ambulance on the scene and a helicopter to get someone out of there quickly. You always want to believe that this is a rescue and not a recovery. Once you say it's a recovery, the whole community loses all hope that anyone could still be alive. And do we know if anyone's still alive? It's not likely. However, there is a possibility that there could still be someone alive. So I'll go back to the scene.
Oh my gosh, crazy.
This
AP is cutting in and out.
This was the press
is
conference.
working with the FBI and being able to do things with the phones and identify what phones went off at the time of the explosion, trying to figure out everything inside the scene. I can tell you that we've had more than probably 300 people. It's done very delicate, very methodical inside the scene. And at this time, we have recovered those survivors.
So, folks, again, the situation on the scene in regards to the broadcast, to the press conference, it's not coming in very clearly. So I'll spare you from listening to the horrible recording. If I could get it to play more clearly, we'd certainly go to it. But right now, the reception from that scene is absolutely terrible. Let me see if I go to another channel. Maybe this will be clearer.
Available.
If you have those even worse.
We'll be able to get those for you.
So that's even worse. So, the sheriff is a local, obviously, quite upset as he's lost people from his community. Perhaps a childhood friend, he said, was lost in this blast. So there's 18 people confirmed missing, potentially dead. ATF, I'm sure they will have emergency management people on the scene that search cadaver dogs that will find bodies and parts of bodies. I speak from having experience doing this. I was a first responder at the World Trade Center. Just an absolutely horrific situation. We feel for the people of Tennessee. We say our prayers for the people of Tennessee. Folks, I don't know if you've ever been to a large-scale accident or a large-scale tragedy such as this. It's a very emotional thing, since people know that their loved one went to work and never came home, but they don't want to ever accept that their loved one is dead until they get absolute proof, a body or a body part. So there will be a great painstaking search for bodies and body parts. And of course, in the investigation of this blast, everyone wants to know the why. Why did this happen? How did this happen? You look at the scene, complete devastation, 18 feared dead in the Tennessee explosion. And we don't know if the numbers will go up, will rise, or will it, in fact, we find someone else was home and they're alive. So, folks, we're going to stay on this case, but right now it seems like that's all the information there is at this point. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I'm Bill Cannon from Police Off the Cuff, Real Crime Stories. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button, share us with your friends and your families, make lots of comments. And if you want to contribute to this channel financially, we have a Patreon with 4 different levels, and we also have a YouTube channel memberships with 5 different levels, and you can become a member of the Police Off the Cuff family and contribute to this show. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Bill Cannon. Have a great day. God bless.
One episode just ain't enough.